on? How you guys doing? If you are seeing this right now, that means I've had a productive day. I hope you did too. But if you are liking, commenting, and subscribed, that means you fuck with me, which means I fuck with you. Period. Before I get into this story, seriously, you guys, like this video, leave a comment on anything you hear today, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Like, subscribe. It really helps your girl out. Liking the video really pushes my videos out here. So if you're a storytime watcher, or if you know some storytime watchers, or just fuck with your girl, share the video, like the video, comment on the video, okay? Because spilling my tea is not always the easiest. Most of these stories are a little traumatic, but I try to keep them light. But it's my story and I'm going to tell it. So fuck with your girl, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Like I said, Lucky is entering back into the chat. I have not told another story since the very first story of how I found out I was pregnant. If you have not watched that one, go back and watch it. When I recorded that video, that was back when I used to be kind of sipping and hitting a little glizzy, you know what I'm saying, before my video. So it's kind of all over the place. But we were not together. We were not together when the twins were first born. I actually got back with Kanan. If you haven't watched any of the Kanan stories, please go back and watch them. I was with Kanan. They were calling Kanan daddy because that was the only man they knew. That was my first real live-in situation. His family was a huge support system for me and my girls. That was the only man they knew. He started hitting me up randomly as the girls got older. They're about 2 or 3. Of course, I'm, taking pictures of them, taking videos of them, posting them on Facebook. And Lucky slowly starts hitting me up, like, trying to see them. So it was a couple times where I pulled up on him without... Kanan didn't know nothing about this, because if you watch those Kanan stories, he was crazy about me, and he was definitely crazy about those twins. And once he even heard about Lucky contacting me, he was like, no, that nigga ain't been around this whole time. I've been the only one in their life, and we gonna keep it like that. And at first, I'm like, yeah, you right. Like, don't try to come around now. They already got a daddy, basically. But as time went on, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at the twins. They starting to look more and more like Lucky. Like, literally, I feel like they look just like him. Especially to this day, they got the whole unibrow situation. We definitely be cleaning that up because my baby's almost teenagers, you know what I'm saying? So they like their little eyebrows arched now. But anyway, I'm looking at the twins. They looking more and more like their dad as time is passing. And, he'll hit me up randomly like, hey, want to see the twins? Hey, can you bring them over? And I would just ignore him listening to Kanan most of the time. But this one specific day, or it was a couple specific days, that I did sneak away and take the twins to see their real dad. Now, when he first met them, he was looking at them because the whole thing was him not thinking they were his. And there was a little confusion when I got pregnant. But once they got here and, they came out looking how they was looking, I knew who their daddy was. Like, I had an idea. I had a pretty good idea. And once they got here, I was 100% sure. But he had this whole stripper girlfriend in his ear. She was hitting me up, talking about, oh, you this, you that, to make his kids, and da-da-da-da-da. And once I got with Kanan, I just let it go. I erased it out of my mind. I'm not going to stress about it. I know I'm their mama, so I'm not worried about who want to claim them and who want to take care of them. I got them. You know what I'm saying? Me and my family. So I would take them to see him. I took them over there a couple times. Now, it was one specific Mother's Day. I told Kanan about taking the twins to see their dad. This was when me and Kanan was staying with his sister that passed away. Again, RIP to her. But this is when me and him was staying with his sister. This is before we got the house. So I told him, like, I'm going to take the twins to see their dad. And I remember him looking at me like, confused for a minute. He literally staring into my soul. He like, okay, Ebony. Because at this point, it's not my first time bringing it up. He had already told me how he felt. But this is their dad, Kanan. Like, it's not too many times I'm gonna let this man hit me up and I'm just gonna keep denying him access to his kids. Like, if he want to see them, I'm going to let him see them. So he just gave in this day. He like, all right, fine. So y'all, I go over to, I forget who house it was. I don't think this is where he was staying because, mind you, he's still messing with this stripper. And we gonna give her a name. We're gonna call her Leprechaun. I'm gonna call her Leprechaun because she looked like a leprechaun. Anyway, so he's dealing with Leprechaun. So they probably still living together. So I know I took him to, like, one of his people, took the twins to, like, one of his people's house to see him, right? So I go over there. The twins are probably like 2, 3. They probably was like 2 at this time, you know what I'm saying? So they walk in or whatever, they barely talking, and the twins, they took a minute to like start like laughing and smiling and like talking. They were very non-verbal. They would literally sit there and be looking around. You'll be like, hey, little girl, hey, little baby. They'd be like, but y'all, this Mother's Day, when I took them to see Lucky, they were all smiles, and it actually had brought me to tears because of course my babies would smile, you know what I'm saying? I'm their mama, I can make them smile, but when they met new people or people say, oh, they twins, hey, they'd just be looking like, bitch, who the fuck is you? But this is like maybe they 3rd, 4th time seeing their actual father, and they are smiling, laughing, running around, you know what I'm saying? They are having a good time, and I almost cried a little bit like, this is your daddy, like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? It was just, it was settling in that these are his kids and they're comfortable around him. They don't really know him. They're not calling him daddy, of course, but it just felt good. It felt like I was doing the right thing, basically. So this Mother's Day, I'm like, yeah, I actually need to go get some work done. This is when I still had the Durango. So I'm like, I actually need to go get like an oil change and stuff. And he like, oh, how much is that going to be? And I told him, and he, you know, gave me a couple dollars on it. He like, here, you know, go ahead, take care of what you got to take care of. I'll call you later. They can just stay here. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking around the house. You know what I'm saying? I believe it was like his auntie crib, or it might have been an auntie, like, you know, like a neighborhood auntie. I don't think it was his real auntie, but you know, it was pretty clean. It was some other little kids over there. So I'm like, okay, I'll be back. So he give me a couple dollars, I leave, and I go get the car work done. So Kanan calls me, and I basically let him know, like, yeah, the twins are still over there with Lucky. He is upset. He's mad. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to pull up. Like, let's just talk in person because he yelling on the phone. I'm like, let's just talk in person. So I go back over to Kanan's sister house where Kanan is, and we sitting there talking. Time is going on. I'm basically telling him, like, look, this is their dad. He wants to start seeing them and spending time with them. I'm not gonna deny him. We basically, you know, settled with that. Like, I know you feel some type of way. You're still going to be in their life. You are my man, so you're not going anywhere, but they deserve to have their biological father in their life. So we sitting there talking. We finally, you know, calmed down. It wasn't really an argument. We just talking. So Lucky starts calling me like, hey, where you at? And I'm like, oh, I'll be back in a second. He like, okay, just let me know when you're on your way. So I'd probably say about 20 minutes had passed. He had called again. Nah, I think me and Kanan were like smoking, or I don't know what we was doing. But he literally called like 20 minutes later, like, hey, where you at? Because I gotta go. And for some reason, y'all, something just clicked in my head. Like, nigga, you probably seen your kids 3 times this whole year. Stop calling my fucking phone. Like, something, it was a switch in my head that said, this nigga got you fucked up. Because, like, the first time he called, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll be on my way in a minute. And then him calling back 10, 20 minutes later was like, okay, I said I was going to call you when I'm on my way. What's going on? He like, yo, I really got something to do. So, you know, hurry up, basically. And you had me fucked up, nigga. I would leave them kids there all motherfucking night, which is what I did. Now, don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm feeling like nigga, these are your kids. You been blowing me up trying to see them all the time, and now that they over there, you trying to rush me to come back. And then I'm like, it's Mother's Day. Like, this is my day. This is what's going on in my head. I'm like, nigga, them kids about to be over there. So, y'all, I stayed at Kanan's sister house with him that night with no twins, kid free for like the first time in a very long time. And I slept pretty good. I mean, he had texted me a couple times, but he eventually did stop calling. He probably called like twice after I said that, and he texted, and I was like, it's Mother's Day. You can keep them one night. You will be all right. And he stopped texting. He stopped calling. So I spent the night with Kanan, and we slept pretty good without no kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was cool. So that next day, I went and got my babies, and he was like, yeah, I ain't really like how you did that. And I was like, well, it is what it is. You wanted to see your kids, and you saw them, right? He like, yeah, I'm going to start getting them more, right? Whatever. So time is going on. He was very inconsistent around this time, especially when I was with Kanan, because sometimes he would call and Kanan would be like, no, they going to my mama's house. Or, you know what I'm saying? Kanan would definitely interfere a lot of times that Lucky wanted to see them. So he would be inconsistent. I would be inconsistent with contacting him. We was going through that for probably like 2 years, y'all. So around this time, this is when me and Kanan is breaking up. This is when Ghost is entering the chat room. And Lucky has no idea about my love life. He has no idea what's going on. He just know eventually when he's coming to get the twins or I'm dropping the twins off, I got this light-skinned man with me. So obviously I got a new man. Right? Time is going on. Now, I want to say the first full year that I was with Ghost, Lucky was being way more consistent. But Lucky has been with Leprechaun this whole time. So Leprechaun was the person that called me and was, oh, them not his kids, while I was pregnant. That was our first little altercation. Time is going on, and sometimes I would call Lucky's phone when it came to picking the twins up or dropping them off, or you know, however we needed to do things. I would call his phone and she would answer. And I would be like, where's Lucky at? And she would either give him the phone or be like, you know, he not by his phone right now. What you about to pick him up? What you about to drop him off? And then it'll be kind of quick like that. And then sometimes I would text and I could tell because Lucky text messages would be short and sweet. I knew when she had his phone because she would text in all caps. And it would be these long, drawn-out sentences. Like, I would be like, hey, when you coming to get the girls? Lucky would probably say, oh, I'm going to come tomorrow. When it was her, she would text in all caps, it won't be today, probably tomorrow after I do X, Y, and Z. I knew when it was her because who you texting all caps to? Who you yelling at? Right? So me and her had never really had a conversation since the whole, oh, them not his kids, you know what I'm saying, years back. But I know he got this girlfriend, Leprechaun. And I know it's static. I know she don't care for me because of whatever animosity she got towards me dealing with her man back in the day, me being pregnant, and him actually wanting to be in his kid's life. I felt like she felt some type of way. But when the twins would go over there and come back, they never had anything bad to say about her. They actually really liked her. They really liked her. And I had no problem with that because I got my little situation over here. I just had Kanan in their life. He disappeared, you know what I'm saying, without a fucking word. And now Ghost is in their life. They got a relationship with Ghost. They call him Ghosty. I'm going to say that. They used to call him Ghosty. And, you know, they know what it is at my house. And they go over to their dad's house. They got a relationship with Leprechaun. And it is what it is. I'm not tripping. So, time is going on. I want to say this is when I was working at the place downtown. I used to be catching the bus. And, you know, we had a couple dollars coming in. He would do little odd jobs. Ghost would work for this moving company with some guy he knew, so he had money coming in. Christmas time is coming up, so as I mentioned in a couple other videos, that the twins' original room was like a back room of a room, but the room wasn't like really insulated well, It was still under construction. Like, we had painted and fixed the ceiling, but the ceiling was kind of falling back in, and you know, it was a lot going on in that back room. So how can I say this? So their room was the back room of my room. So I have a room, and then the back room was their room. So it was another room out, you know, in the hallway that I had used as like a den. So it was a couch and a TV and stuff in there. So for Christmas, my idea was to make the twins a new room. And this has actually been like a tradition ever since then, that either a Christmas or a birthday, I would redecorate their room, change their room around, get them new furniture, paint, or do something like that. I've been doing that their whole life. Like, they really like coming home or having a new room, having new stuff, new paint, new TV, stuff like that. I've always done that. So this is the first time I'm doing it. I'm gonna take them out of that back room that's always cold in the wintertime and hot in the summertime, and I'm gonna put them in, you know what I'm saying, their own room. And this room was a little bigger. It might have been like the same size, but it had carpet in there. I was gonna paint it pink. I had actually painted the room red for some reason. It was like red, gray, and white. So I'm gonna paint the room pink. I'm gonna get them some new beds. I'm gonna get them their own little TV dresser, get them some toy bins, get them a little bookshelf. I had actually from Ghost's moving job, he had this scrap of chalkboard. It was like a piece of chalkboard. I actually had nailed it up on the wall so they can get their chalk and be drawn and stuff. So I had redid their room. I was going to do that for Christmas, right? So how can I say this? The twins went to their dad's for this Christmas, and they were going to come home after Christmas. Oh, that's something outside. So the twins went to their dad's for Christmas, and they were coming home after Christmas. So me and Ghost are at home. We actually had stayed up all night, still doing stuff for their room. My mama had brought a whole bunch of toys and stuff for Christmas to put in their room. So when they come home, all their gifts and stuff is going to be on their beds, and they see their brand new room, right? So I think like Christmas Day, I'm scrolling on Facebook, and Lucky is posting stuff that he had got the girls. He had got them like a little car that they could drive in. I want to say he got them 2 cars. It was like little BMW little cars that they could drive. He had got them some bikes. He had got them like a whole bunch of big stuff. He got them like 5 or 6 big gifts. It wasn't like no little bitty stuff to unwrap. He had got them 5 or 6 big gifts. I can't remember everything. So he's posting this stuff. So I actually had screenshot his post, and I'll go over to Instagram, because this is actually when Instagram had first really started popping for me. So I go over to Instagram and I post it. I posted, I think I just posted, you know how Facebook, you post multiple pictures and they group it all together for one post. I had screenshot that, so it was pictures of all his gifts in this one screenshot, and it was the caption like, went hard for my babies for Christmas or whatever. So I screenshot that, posted it on Instagram, and my caption said the twins are having a great time at their dad's house or something like that. So I post that, you know, people liking it or whatever. I don't even know how many followers or friends I had at this point, but it wasn't too much going on my Instagram. But you know what I'm saying? The twins got some good gifts at their daddy house, so I posted it. Yeah. Not even 10 minutes passed, I get a text message, or actually not a text message. She commented on my Instagram post and said, "What did you get them?" And I look at it and I show Ghost like, why is she commenting? Now, I haven't mentioned, but Leprechaun would be so petty on Facebook and on social media. And I never addressed it. I never said anything. She would just be, the twins just got here and they're starving. I wonder how. Or, you know what I'm saying? I guess I have to do their hair. It would just be like little subliminal, like if you know type of shit that I would see. And of course, we weren't friends on social media. This is just when I would be, you know, on some petty shit, just going over to her page, because she's always had an issue with me from the beginning, and I would just go over to her page to see what she'd be posting. And she would just be saying little subliminal stuff like that. Like, okay, everybody know who the twins' mom is. Everybody know that you're Lucky's girlfriend. So if you know, you know. People know you talking about me. Like, it would just be little petty stuff like that, y'all. And I never said anything. I never said anything to Lucky. I never said anything to her. I would just kind of look at shit like that and laugh like, girl, you still mad. Like, the twins are here. You know what I'm saying? He's in their life. He's finally stepping up and being a father. Like, why you mad at me? You know what I'm saying? But when she commented on my post, like, what did you get him? I'm just looking like, this girl couldn't wait to say something to me. Like, she been waiting to say something directly to me for so long. And this was her moment to shine, y'all. So I'm like, oh, my baby's got a brand new room. She like, okay, post it. I said, I will post it when my babies get home. Yeah, okay. Okay, like, what? So I'm heated. Like, my blood's starting to boil because, you know, this is something that's been boiling up like this whole time since the very beginning. Like, girl, I've never said anything to you about anything that you post or nothing that you got going on. And you gonna say something to me because I'm posting what my child's father got them? Like, girl, stop. So, time is going on. I want to say this is the day after Christmas. I'm on Facebook scrolling, and of course, I go to her page just to see what she's posting because mad bitches can't do nothing but be mad. So I go over to her page, y'all. This girl is posting status after status. Bitches wanna beat us so bad. Bitches is broke. You probably didn't get them nothing. Why you taking what we bought and putting it on your page like you bought it? Girl, what? So I'm commenting on her shit like, girl, you are delusional. Get off my dick. Like, that's back when I used to say that shit all the time. Like, you're on my dick. Get off. Like, hop off of it. Give somebody else a turn. Like, why is you on me so tough? Like, girl, I'm none of your issue. Like, why is you on me? Are you mad that I have this man's children? Like, are you that upset? Like, do you think you can take my place? I mean, you gonna be his girlfriend, but I'm always gonna be their mama. Honestly, I used to say that to her all the time. Like, girl, he can get another girlfriend tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year. I'm always gonna be his child's mother. I'm always gonna be their mother. Like, and it's not even a flex. You know what I'm saying? It's not a flex to say, oh, I'm his baby mama. But why you mad at me? I'm not going nowhere at all. Like, girl. So I'm commenting on her statuses because at this point, I don't care if you know that I'm looking at your page. I don't even care because you got me fucked up. So we going back and forth on her status. People is chiming in, y'all. It don't matter who got what for Christmas. It's Christmas. Y'all don't need to be doing this. And this is people like, you know, his sisters chiming in, my sister chiming in. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole situation on Facebook. This is why I'm not on Facebook to this day, because it don't matter what, it's always gonna be something. Like, Facebook is just super childish and petty like that. It's always been like that. It's still like that. So the day is going on. It's time for the twins to come home, y'all. So Lucky texts me like, hey, we on the way. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I tell Ghost, like, you know, Lucky about to bring the twins. Let's, you know, get their room ready. We're gonna cut the light off or whatever. So when they think they about to walk through my room to get to their room, I'm gonna stop them and cut on the light, and they gonna be So Lucky pulls up. I'm standing at the door, and Lucky and Leprechaun gets out of the car. Usually they'll let the twins out the car. The twins went up the stairs. Oh, Ghosty, mommy, miss you. But they let the twins out the car, and they both start walking up on the porch. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm like, hey, Casey Carter. Hey. They're like, hi, mommy. I'm like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. So they running in the house, and Lucky and Leprechaun walks in the house. They didn't say, hey, we gonna come in for a minute. Nothing. They just walked in, and I let them in. I'm standing at the door. I'm holding the door open like, hey, y'all, Merry Christmas. He like, hey, Merry Christmas. So Ghost is actually sitting on the couch when Lucky and Leprechaun just walk past him, and they go towards, they know where the twins' room is. So I'm like, yeah, Casey Carter, that's not your room no more. Because they went straight to, like, run past, the actual room and go through my room, try to get to their old room. I'm like, no, Casey Carter, this not your room anymore. I'm like, here's your room right here. So I cut the light on. The twins instantly, oh my God. And then my mom had bought them a whole bunch of stuff, so it's all on the bed. And they're like, oh my God. They looking at their toys. They looking like, oh, this my TV. Oh, look at my dress. I say, yep, all your clothes in here. This your brand new bed. I had got them 2 Dora twin beds, like matching beds or whatever. It was real cute. The room was pink. They saw their chalkboard with their brand new pack of chalk. They trying to open their chalk, so I'm opening their chalk for them. And the whole time I'm, in the room with my babies, Ghost had eventually got up off the couch. So it's me in the room with the twins. Right outside of the room, it's a little hallway where the bathroom at. Leprechaun and Lucky is standing there kind of watching the twins, open their stuff. And then Ghost is standing behind them in the living room. So as I'm looking, I'm like, yeah. So Leprechaun picks her. She actually stepped her one foot in the room and looked around like,
this it?
I said, bitch, where they sleep at your house? Because, mind you, the twins already told me they sleep in one bed in a room with a TV. You got my babies in the same bed, which they sleep together anyway, but it don't matter. You got my babies in one big bed with just a TV in the room. You don't know how to keep no house anyway, because I've been to your house a couple times and that house is dirty. First of all, I don't send the twins over with none of that good stuff because I ain't gonna never see it again. Y'all don't wash clothes. Y'all just buy new clothes and pile up the clothes in the basement. Like, girl, I said, where the twins sleep at your house?
Well, what the fuck you mean? You posted with me and my nigga guy.
I said, I don't give a fuck what I'm posting. That's my baby daddy. I can post it. So as I'm saying that, I'm walking towards her. Lucky steps in between us, and Ghost kind of push Lucky and Leprechaun out the way to kind of come in front of me, because I guess he didn't know if Lucky was like gonna be holding me back so Leprechaun could come towards me or what. So Ghost kind of goes around them to come in front of me. He like, all right, y'all just need to go. He like, yeah, we gonna go. She like,
bitch, you broke as hell. What the fuck is wrong?
I said, bitch, where they sleeping at your house? Where they sleeping at your? Y'all got one bed. Y'all don't even got no room for my babies. My babies don't even got their own room over there. Where the fuck they sleep at? That dirty ass house. I'm just going off. She's saying whatever she's saying, and Lucky is pushing her out the door, and I'm still yelling. The twins don't give a fuck. The twins is in their room playing with their toys. They having the time of their life, y'all. My babies done witnessed so much that they have no idea about, didn't even know what was going on when it was going on. Like, I thank God for their mind. I thank God for their mental, because they done been through some stuff and don't even realize it. But this girl is trying to argue me down in my house. And if it was not for Lucky and Ghost, who knows what would have happened? Because when I was walking up to her, you know what I'm saying? I'm already doing this. It would have took nothing to blow my motherfucking fist up. Like, girl, who you talking to? This it. Yeah, this is it. What's at your house? What's at your house? Where do my baby sleep? Where's they room? How big is they TV? Where's they dresser drawers at? Where's the washing machine at this bitch? The fuck? Yeah, this is it. Merry motherfucking Christmas, Casey Carter. Y'all, that girl continued to have me fucked up for so long. I'm gonna leave that right there, because we have had a few more altercations before we eventually had to throw them hands. It did happen, y'all. So stay tuned for the next story time. Until then, be productive, be safe, and have fun.